It's going to get worse, bro. It's going to get worse before it gets better. That's all I know.
You think?
That's all I can.
Oh, that's what you cannot. Over the past year, you've not been able to ask yourself, I just don't know how it could get worse. You couldn't actually ask yourself that question because, there's a way. Oh, there's a way.
Oh yeah, there are plenty of ways. Plenty of ways. We've only scratched the surface.
Well, for those of you that have doubted the military might of the United States of America, kick Venezuela's ass. Watch out, Guatemala, Guyana. You're next. We're just taking down Murderers Row right now. Okay.
South America on our mind.
I don't know about Peru, because if we fuck up Peru, and it's going to be Don Jr.'s blow. I don't know. I'm not sure.
Yeah. I think they just let him out of prison, actually.
They've made threats.
I think that was his.
Oh, you think so?
Makes sense,
And not to get off on a whole political rant, but obviously it's too late for that. When they went in and we did the same thing in Iraq, because this is basically the same thing we did in Iraq, as it turns out. There was sort of a plan, but there really wasn't a plan, as it turned out. I think that was pretty obvious as time went on. The people who ran the country for a while was called the Coalition Provisional Authority, and they were basically 22 and 23-year-olds who had never done anything, who were interns at the Heritage Foundation. Now, if we put together a group of people to run this whole thing in Venezuela, where do you think those people are going to come from? Just tuck that in your back pocket. Just again, tuck that in your back pocket.
Again, it's going to get worse before it gets better. As a whole,
these are people that are going to be running. These are people going to be running Venezuela that have had to run to their mothers to get credit cards for proper lighting for their TikTok videos. Okay, they're going to be running a whole ass country supposedly. We'll
sounds a little Doge-ish, a little Doge-ish,
little Doge-ish, doesn't it? Get along, little Doge. All right. Last time we tried to record, and it was completely my fault, and I fucked everything up, and I'm sorry. We were going to take our victory lap on John Cena, but we don't have to take our victory lap on John Cena, do we? We don't have to do that, do we?
No, I think that is the ship sailed on that, don't you think?
I think, but I think time proved us to be the victors in that one. I think it was a terrible finish. There's no justification for it. A lot of people were pissed off, and Gunter really hasn't been able to get his heat back. I know he and AJ had a pretty good confrontation tonight, and they're really plugging this AJ versus Gunter thing in Dusseldorf. 2:00 start time on the Netflix on Monday. Special start time from Germany, Bryant. 2:00 in the afternoon, Eastern Standard Time on the West Coast. It'll be 11 a.m. only on Netflix.
Oddly enough, I may be able to watch that live.
Pretty cool, isn't it? And that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Hopefully, like when you crank it up at 2:00 in the morning, dipshit won't decide to like bomb Ontario or something. I don't know. Could happen though. We have no idea.
Dude. Everything's on the table. Nothing is off the table. The table is full.
You just don't know. The sundowner in chief, right around 2 or 3 o'clock every afternoon, when his stories are off. You just don't know when he might be able to just crank it up and start bombing people. You have no idea.
Oh my God. Somebody. Do something. Do something. I don't know. Something.
But you thought when 2025 was over, when 2025 ended, and you maybe saw the ball drop, maybe you didn't go, maybe we'll leave some of the shit behind in 2025. But we're like, no, it's still with us. It's still with us. It's still there.
I mean, not to get off on the ramp here, but now that you mentioned that, it just, to me, after looking back, it just seems like the holidays this year just weren't the holidays. Like even the holidays the year before, I had a little more of a joyful presence about me,
Yeah.
But this year it's just everything just seemed very, very humdrum at best, to me.
Yeah. It was shit city. I'll give you that. I'll grant you that one.
I just wonder if it was just me, because I certainly had shit in the back of my head,
But we were pulled right out of the doldrums there by Coca-Cola Bowl Week on ESPN.
Wasn't that nice?
I'm old enough to remember Thrifty Car Rental Bowl Week.
You remember that one?
I do remember that one.
You know what I did? I'll admit it.
I
admit it, since we're old people and do shit like this. The other day I went and watched. I didn't watch. It was like I think 3.5 hours the whole thing, but I maybe watched about 45 minutes of it, of Christmas Eve that somebody recorded from MTV from 1983, I think.
Oh Jesus!
And, like the whole thing. I mean, the whole. It was videos, commercials, promos, the VJs talk, everything. It was great. I loved it, man. It really took me back.
They didn't have any specials on, like Motley Crue hosts Christmas Eve or something like that.
I don't remember anything like that. They had a lot of people coming on saying happy Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays and that sort of thing. The Hall & Oates and all that stuff.
I don't necessarily get nostalgic for the old MTV. From time to time, I'll go and I'll take a look at a video or something like that. I really got deeply into the old David Letterman's, the old NBC show last year, and was watching many, many hours of that shit and really thoroughly enjoyed it. But I'll probably hunker down with some MTV at some point in time back during the good old days.
Yeah, it's fun, man. I mean, like I said, I don't think I could sit there and watch a full 3 hours of it, but I just had it. I didn't sit right in the chair and stare at it as I was doing some other things. I kind of had it on the background, which to me made it even more. It really took me back more, because that's what I would do. I have that shit on in the background while I clean the house, do whatever I had to do around the house. So yeah, that was just cool. I didn't realize how much it would hit me like it did, I guess.
Jon Stewart recently did a sit down at one of those 92Y sessions, and that's on YouTube for you to check out. It's one of the old MTV executives, and he's come out with a new book. I can't remember who it is, but it's not Bob Pittman. Bob Pittman's the guy that runs iHeartRadio and doing a bang up job, by the way. The guy that Jon Stewart sat down with, they chatted for about an hour about the good old days of MTV, and Jon Stewart was talking about going to an MTV party back in the 80s and all of it. It was just crazy. They got this wonderful penthouse of some fantastic hotel with catered meals or something, and they had to break it up because some of the there was a fight, and it was some of the executives chicken fighting, and somebody got hurt.
That's random. That's funny as hell.
That's pretty funny.
I know. Like now, Alan Hunter, I used to go back and forth with him a lot back. I really had on Twitter and stuff. He's real good about answering questions and stuff like that. So I always thought that was cool. I remember a discussion we had about Bryan Adams and all. So it was fun.
I'll say Alan Hunter was probably my favorite of that crew. He was my favorite one.
I think me too, man. I think me too. I liked them all for sure. I didn't dislike any of them, of the original VJs. But yeah, I'm with you. Alan Hunter was my favorite.
I'll tell you what got him over was the Amuck and America thing, where they went across America and just did shit.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he was in Cleveland. They would just have little vignettes that would last maybe 60 seconds, maybe 90. And for some reason, he's up in Cleveland and he's pouring like beer down a woman's shirt. And I'm like, oh, this is great. This is fantastic. Now, of course, he would have been canceled and dragged off to jail and beaten. But back then, when you're like 15, you're like, if I could program anything on television, this is what I would do.
And they did.
God,
yeah, it was great, man.
And also, back during those times, it was not easy for me to get the Cleveland Indians hats where I lived, and he was wearing a Cleveland Indians hat, and I was like, "Well, dude, look at this! This is the greatest!
Oh, this is the best!
This is just the most fantastic." This is during the wonderful. Well, it was right before that season where they put the guys on the front cover of Sports Illustrated said the Indians were going to win it all in '86, and it didn't quite work out that way.
No.
Joe Carter and Corey Swindell, or who was one. It was Joe Carter was one of the guys they put on the front cover, and then he won a World Series, but it certainly wasn't in Cleveland, as it turned out.
No, as it turned out, he killed my team that year with that damn home run.
He did. It was the very rare walk-off home run in Game 7 of the World Series.
It was the one that all kids dream of.
Yeah, that was the one. And for just half a moment, Bryant was racist. No, that's not how that works. It's only when he's driving. No,
I did hate Canada for a minute.
For a minute there, I wanted to bomb Toronto and maybe a few other cities.
Other than that.
So we were right about John Cena, and then we were trying to record this, and Bryant pointed out if you skip one podcast in 2025, make sure it's that Cody Rhodes sit down with John Cena, because it's just it's nothing. It's like the most nothing they could pack into like 75 minutes, right?
It was like, I didn't see the whole thing, but it seemed to me like it was going to be 75 minutes worth of apologetic bullshit.
At best.
At best.
I think you're being a little bit kind.
Well, that's how I am.
You are. You're a gracious person, and you're giving those two fuck. It was like a John Cena TED Talk, sort of, but usually John Cena and Cody Rhodes are a little more entertaining than that. There just wasn't, and there just was no way to polish the turd. They couldn't bring in buckets of Brasso big enough for those two guys to polish the turd that had just been laid in front of all of us. And some people, again, I love you, Wheezy Blonde, but you guys don't know what happened. You don't know who booked it. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
It was bad. It was bad. And that talking about that interview, that it just seems like they're going above and beyond and even further to not acknowledge the fact that it was bad. So they go with this, Cena with this freaking rolling on with that horse shit that it was like 5 minutes. I listened to 10 minutes, and it was just going on in this somber ass voice, and it was just brutal. I'm like, is this the whole interview? Because this is horrible.
Dude, you are hitting home runs right now. You are absolutely nailing it. That is exactly what that shit was.
It was just it's terrible.
And now the opposite spectrum of that is like one of the first podcasts of 2026 that's really great is that Brandon Walker guy, the big dog from Barstool Sports, sitting down with MJF. That's a great fucking podcast. Oh my God. Watch that 5 times over. Holy shit.
All right. I might have to do that. I like our boy. MJF.
Well, and now it looks like starting 2026 that he has been given carte blanche to kind of run down the field, which is exactly what that promotion needs. It's exactly what wrestling needs right now. He recaptured the world title at World's End. He unveiled his, I think they're calling it the BBB, the Big Beautiful Belt, I think is what they did. He unveiled that on Wednesday. And I think more MJF on my television, preferably with the strap. Maybe not, doesn't really need it, but it's kind of cool that he's got it. That's a prescription for me watching the hell out of some AEW this year.
Oh yeah, it's pretty much guaranteed that you're going to see him on with a belt. Well, you probably see him on without a belt, but you pretty much guaranteed you're going to see him almost every week with the belt. So yeah, that's always good. And I've seen some criticism of this of people, just opinions of people saying, I don't know if they should have pulled the trigger with him, quite yet. Give a few time to build up, kind of, I guess is what they were saying, before because nothing was really built up in that 4-way. It was just
because he came out at the last minute and he cashed in.
Exactly. Yeah. So I mean, I think people are a little down on that, and they said he's one of those guys. He doesn't need the belt, right? And I get
he came in there. He came in there and he spanked all four of them, and they didn't really get a comeback on him. So the next week they got some heat back by choking him out with that chain. It was Hangman and Swerve choking him out with that chain. But then, okay, now we're all set. Everybody's happy, and now go into and he wins the match. So
Well, yeah, that's fine. And and again, I get both sides of the argument on this. I really do. I'm kind of on the fence with it. I do see why. Like I said, it might be a little too soon to put it on him. Get some time to get some heat built up or whatever. I'm not even sure what they're doing with him. I'm not sure. I don't know if you can figure it out. If I guess he's still being a heel, but that was a very heel thing for them to do that. So I mean, I don't know. I'm talking about Swerve and Hangman. So I mean,
I don't know.
I don't know. It's kind of odd.
I can't see a world where he gets booed. I can't. I just don't see it. He's just too good. He's too entertaining.
He'll get booed if if he keeps coming down on their favorites, like the Hangmans and people like that. If he always is talking shit about them, but definitely people are going to still cheer him regardless. But I just think, I don't know. I'm just not sure what they're doing with him. I really haven't figured that out yet.
It's not real though. They're not real boos because they'll start booing him. Then he'll say something funny and they'll start laughing.
For sure. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, you're right. I mean, he will never not get cheered.
Nobody's ever gonna be. You came as close to anybody seeing Stone Cold getting booed IRL at the end of that WrestleMania when he shook hands with Vince McMahon. That's the only time and the only way that Stone Cold Steve Austin was ever going to get booed.
Oh, I'll boot him. I boot him IRL. It pissed me off, man. God dang.
We haven't done it yet, but we usually go through the top stories of 2025. I want to talk about some of the people who had huge years in 2025, and we talked about some of them. I think Javon Evans just had an unbelievable year in 2025.
I would say off the top of my head that arguably he could be superstar of the year, or at least something of the year. I don't know. Newcomer of the year, I don't know. Tell me somebody else.
No, I don't have a counter argument for that. I don't, because they would plug him in and he would kill it every time. There was not a bad appearance that he had anytime they put him in any spot.
Nope.
Not one time can you go, well, he fucked up that move. Well, he fucked up that. No, that guy was killer in everything that he did. Yeah. I don't know about MVP. I'm biased, so I'm with you on that, but I'll say at least newcomer of the year.
Yeah, it has to be. He has to be. And I don't understand how he couldn't be. I'm sure there's somebody that I'm really not thinking about that maybe could arguably be on the same level. But man, even if you didn't say Javon Evans, if you just came at me with who would you say would be newcomer of the year, he'd be the first person I thought of.
First thing.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? I mean, that's how it is. I just can't imagine other people not thinking the same thing. Yeah,
no, it was killer. I thought Megan Bain had a tremendous year. I thought Megan Bain had a really, really good year. Probably not under the auspices of a newcomer. Here's another thing that happened the past couple of months. When did Megan Bain get hot?
Dude, I don't know. I'll tell you when she got hot for me. Let me tell you when she got hot for me. I don't know about you, but whenever she got hot for you, she got hot for me, because when you pointed it out to me, I'm like, damn, you're right. Holy moly.
It was around October. She started stepping up that social media game, and she started just killing it, dude.
That's what it was. I think you're right. I think it was a social media game. I think that's what put her over the top.
She's always been like an impressive wrestler. She's always been like this huge girl, this Amazonian woman, and all this shit. And then all of a sudden,
kind of Camille-ish, don't you think?
Exactly. And then all of a sudden, it's like, oh wait, hang on, she's hot.
Yeah.
Hang on. This is what? What are we doing?
Her and Penelope, man, they're starting to win me over with their damn TikToks and videos and whatever.
Well, look, the chemistry between those two, and I thought the Harley Cameron chemistry that she had with Mina was amazing, but Harley and Willow together are like even better. That's almost another level, right?
Oh my God. That is a high bar. If you were to put two other females together as a tag team and have the chemistry they have, Good luck. Good luck in
yeah.
finding the next one of those, because man, they're like way, way up here.
You have to say that Stephanie Vaquer had a hell of a year. Tremendous year
Oh
in
my
2025.
God, yes. She might be
Yeah.
female wrestler of the year, female superstar of the year, whatever.
And
That's who would get my vote.
And again, she won me over by shaking her butt on social media. No, I'm kidding. No, she's. I warmed up to her slowly. It was a slow burn with me, but I'm on board now. I don't know if I'm as excited as everybody else is, but I see that she belongs on that roster, and I see that she deserves the push, and she's been getting over with the crowd for sure. You can't fight that stuff. And I guess she's selling merch. I haven't seen those numbers at all, but I mean, she's right up there with any of them right now.
I tell you, when she won me over was when I saw the interview with Van Vliet with her. That just really took me in a whole different direction, really, with her, because I was right there with you, man, right there with you. Just, I didn't really see the appeal, and I mean, she was okay. She wasn't bad. I didn't hate her or whatever. I just didn't get why everybody was cheering like they do. I'm still not quite sure of that. I'm a little perplexed still. I need to maybe look into this on why people. Because here's the thing, man. Don't you think that by and large, WWE fans, when something new comes in, they're not like AEW fans, because AEW fans tend to be more indie oriented kind of fans.
Which is like you and I are more indie oriented too.
Exactly. Yes. We if somebody were to come into WWE from the indies, chances are, excuse me, we would know who they are. Probably even like seen Javon. Them before. Yes. Exactly. Perfect example. So when somebody like Stephanie Vaquer comes in and everybody's just head over heels cheering for her, and it's like they know who like, how do you know her? Because we don't even know where she came from. She just kind of appeared out of nowhere to us, and it was just weird to me how WWE crowd that took to her like they did, or knew who she was, which is even more perplexing to me. How they knew who she was coming in when you and I really didn't know who she was at all. Maybe we're just out of the loop, dude. I don't know. I don't. Maybe I just thought that was weird.
And I don't know everyone that's on NXT. I don't know everybody that's on NXT. I try to keep up with everybody that's on NXT. Like, I know I was trying to explain to my niece, who was a huge, Bella Twins fan from back in the day, but because she was like a teenager and she was in college and stuff when the Bella Twins were in their heyday. And I was trying to explain to her why this Nikki run right now just ain't working. And I'm just like, it's just a totally different division. This division is stacked in ways it's never been stacked before. And they've got several others they could bring up right now from NXT, plug them in, they start rocking. Like Saul Ruka, Lola Vice, Blake Monroe, just off the top of my head, they could bring those guys right up to the main roster right now and nobody would lose a beat.
Yeah. You totally nailed it on that with her. And the sad thing about it is with the whole Nikki Bella thing, to me, is personally, I think this is some of her best work. And I just don't think it's really getting the pop that it really needs, that it really deserves sometimes. Or, I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. Because, I've never been a big Bella fan at all. I got tired of them, when I think they were kind of shoved down our throats there for a while. But I've never hated them. And I don't know. I just think that she came back, and I think she's doing what she's supposed to do. And I just don't think, and I think what you said is exactly the reason, because I just don't think the roster around her is anywhere near like it was before. Back in the day, it was like Nikki and Brie were kind of right up near the top level of wrestling superstars. Good, bad, or indifferent, however you felt about them. That's how they were placed, and that's how they were put in the storylines and whatever. And now it's like, it's just not working as far as like the pops that if this is what you're saying, she's not getting the reaction that she used to get, kind of thing.
Well, let me ask you this though, because I'm thinking of some other people from maybe that era, maybe a little bit after that era, if they came back. Do you think that if Mandy Rose came back, do you think it would be kind of the same thing as Nikki Bella?
Yeah, I think, I obviously when she first comes back, there'll be that humongous pop of the return pop, I like to call it. But maybe after that, I think she would fall in that same kind of category. I think the pop, it would the heat or the pop wouldn't be there as much anymore. Not as much as it was back in the WWE and even NXT days, back in her heyday of the NXT when she was ruling the roost then. I don't think it'll be
and you and I would
anything like that.
What I would say this, people would say, they have a celebrity come in, they have Jelly Roll come in or Travis Scott come in or whatever. And you'd be like, well, why can't somebody from the main roster just have that spot and get that glow and all that stuff? It doesn't make any sense to me. But in this particular case, I think that works because look, it's like they've got all of these tremendous women that are just waiting in the wings to go kick ass. And here she's doing whatever she's doing. I mean, she got some heat with that heel turn, whatever. But I think most people are kind of like, I don't know. I'd kind of like to see some of this new talent kind of shine for a little bit,
Yeah, and I get that too, and that's fair. That's very fair because that sounds like something I would argue for. To be honest, excuse me, if I didn't think she wasn't doing such a great job, and I think she is, man. I think that's why I'm a little disappointed at the way it's turning out, it seems, because I just think she's doing really, and I'm not a fan of hers really, and I'm just really impressed by what she's doing, and I just don't feel like it's getting maybe the reaction like it deserves, and again, it's not 2015 or whatever anymore, so I get that too. So I don't know. I just think it's sad, that it's like that for her, but it's not like she's getting totally go away heat or anything. It's just I just don't think it's turning out like they think like they thought it might.
I don't see how you keep Sol Ruca off of the main roster in 2026.
I don't either.
I don't see how that. I mean, and I'm not hoping for anybody to get hurt, but injuries do happen. You're going to have next up. And then it's like, to me, like I said, Sol Ruca, Lola Vice, and to me, Blake Monroe are already. There might be somebody else that I'm not remembering so well on that.
I'm pretty. Yeah, I think you're right. I think those three will. I think those three will be up probably by summer. I don't. You know how they are.
Yeah.
They bring them up in increments anymore. It's not like some big thing like it used to be. Some major date in the year. One time they bring them up. So I think they'll bring them up at some point between now and maybe even WrestleMania. I would think. Because to be honest, if you think about it, that NXT ladies roster is starting to get a little saturated too, so they're going to have to do something.
On that same note, isn't it time to shit or get off the pot with Nikita Lyons?
Yeah, what's up with her? Is she still hurt? I guess.
I don't know. I see the videos and stuff, and it looks like she's moving pretty well. And I don't know if but I don't know. They can't just keep her down there. I mean, this feels like a Rule 5 draft thing in baseball, right? You just can't keep a guy in the minors forever, right?
Well, yeah. But at the same time, she's I don't know, man. She's kind of borderlining Glass Josephine.
Yeah,
getting hurt a lot. It seems like so. I don't know. Maybe they don't want to roll the dice with her quite yet.
It's a fair point. I mean, as far as her injuries and stuff like that, and I don't know, like in terms of her work and stuff like that, she can work, but promos aren't that great. But geez, she's been at pretty close to the top level of the NXT for a while, or at least some sort of like an attraction, sort of.
Oh yeah, anytime she's been available to be on TV and stuff, she's definitely been in a kind of a high capacity role, it seems like, or at least they're pushing her to be in that kind of role, and some shit will happen and she'll be hurt again, and have to get pushed back, start over again, basically.
I kind of want to see her in that Mean Girls thing with Nia Jax and Lash Legend.
Man, that'd be perfect, wouldn't it?
Because they're like, again, like Amazon chicks, and they do some pretty athletic shit,
Yeah, dude. Is it me or have you been? Is it me or are you thinking like, what in the world did it take for them to finally see that Lash Legend needed to be on the main roster? That chick, holy shit! What in the hell have they been keeping her down there for so long for? I don't get that at all.
That's another man. That's another one of those. Like, if you look at her and you're running Albany Championship Wrestling and you can't figure out that chick can make money, dude, you just need to go over to the Harris Teeter and get on it, fill out an application, because that shit, honestly, anybody can see that that girl can make money in this business. I'm sorry,
man. She is something, and I mean, and here's the thing: down in NXT, it's like they would showcase her for like a hot second, and then they'd throw it back into the crowd again, like in that metaphor or whatever that group that she was in, and it just like, what were you thinking?
man? You got me on that one, because I'm like, she's athletic. She's got a great look. Obviously, fantastic athletic background. She can talk shit too.
Oh God, yes. Also, that's what I was going to say. She could talk some major shit.
She's for charisma. She got charisma for days. I mean, I don't.
When the day that her and like Rhea or Jade face off. Oh my goodness.
Oh God, yeah, that's huge. That's business all day long. I mean, the fact that she wasn't up there a lot. Well, they eventually figured it out, and it wasn't that long. But damn, if you're in this business and you can't figure out that chick is a moneymaker, God help you, man.
Well, I mean, it's kind of obvious, think about it. Think about, like I just said, how she was portrayed and placed and put in storylines and whatever in NXT, and all of a sudden she comes up to the main roster and she's like, boom, up here, up on the top level. It's like, whoa, okay. I mean, she kind of out Braun Breaker.
In a way, yeah. No, I think that's a proper observation. Yeah, when she hit the main roster, she was in stride. She was 100%, and she didn't have any problem at all from day one.
No,
looking
man.
like $1 million, looking like she belonged right at the top tier of this business, man. Yeah, she is. That chick is good. Top stories of 2025. Anything come to mind for you off the top of your head?
Yeah, I'm thinking. Wow. I think, to me, just the one that comes to mind, maybe it's just because it was toward the end of the year, but the whole ESPN thing to me is kind of a big deal.
Huge. There's rumors. There've been some rumors that maybe ESPN isn't so thrilled with the performance so far.
As far as like people watching, or what?
The streaming numbers, and maybe the people that are being motivated to buy subscriptions. Of course, ESPN was going through a couple of things when all that was announced. Disney went through their little problem with Jimmy Kimmel at that particular time, and a lot of people canceled a lot of Disney-related shit. So that wasn't particularly great for them as that was happening. And then as you were going through toward the end of the year, it was just kind of some people economically were not doing so well, at least, people not making $1 million a year and not feeling like they were being able to afford, I don't know, $300 and whatever it is, $300 a year if you sign up for the yearly ESPN.
Yeah. $30 a month, man. That's a lot. That's a lot.
Yeah. It's rough. It's rough on top of everything else that people have to pay. I think that's also just an overwhelming kind of overarching story, is how much the perception is, and it is the reality, that WWE is just screwing their fans. I think that's a massive story in 2025, that people were just getting strung up by their ankles and having every nickel just shaken out of their pockets.
Yeah. Our friend Allie, from TNA. Yeah. It was funny. About, I don't know, a couple of weeks ago, maybe, she was on TikTok and made a TikTok about her she's a Buffalo Bills fan, and she was on there ranting and raving because Buffalo Bills, you can't find them. They're on this streaming network one week, and then they're on NBC one week, and then Fox next week, and da 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 da. And I commented, I'm like, oh, this is like being a WWE fan. And then she laughed, and she said, ha ha ha, I never thought about it like that. I'm like, yeah. That's how it is.
Well, that's why that's why the VPN thing, the VPN gimmick works so well. It's just on Netflix. If you go over to hook up to Germany, and then there you are, or you hook up to England or Toronto or whatever, and you're fine. But it's a big story.
Seoul, South Korea.
I believe you can, as of right now, until we
never
bomb it
looked at
next
it.
week.
Well, you know.
Yeah. Until we decide that somehow they're smuggling alleged drugs in through Hyundais, and then
Can you hook into
bomb
Caracas,
Seoul.
Venezuela?
you actually, I don't know if you can or not right now. I don't know if that's helpful for anybody.
I don't know if that is either. Yeah.
The promotion of the WWE events on Sports Center, I think it looks good. I don't know for the sports fans that don't necessarily like WWE. I don't know how they feel about it. But to me, I kind of like it because on Friday night, they'll have the little Sports Center, and then they'll go over to Michael Cole and Corey Graves, and they'll talk about, hey, this happened tonight, and this guy beat this guy up, and we're all set for this PLE. We're all, we're going toward Royal. I think that part of it and the promotional part of what Disney and ESPN can do for WWE, I think is great. But I don't know, again, how a lot of like legitimate hands and quotations sports fans feel about having that stuff intrude on their so-called real sports. By the way, they almost didn't have, I don't know if you got the story, they almost didn't have Raw tonight because the officials couldn't make it in from the Carolina Panthers game on Saturday. They had some travel problems, and the officiating during the Panthers game was really bad. It was very, very bad. Very WWE-esque.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was. That was pretty good. Yes. Yes, it's a good thing they didn't
not usually
let us down.
I don't have a dog in the fight usually in these games. I mean, I kind of like the Panthers, but they're not my team. But I saw it in real time, and then I saw it put together in video. I was like, oh, this is really bad officiating. This is really like egregiously beyond the pale bad officiating.
I mean, it was just like, did they really call that? That was like out of bounds? What?
The pass interference call and then not getting the helmet ripped off the guy's head.
Yes.
What?
You talking about the pass interference where the guy tripped over his feet?
It was the receiver kind of pushed him off like 10 yards before they got it.
Yes. That offensive pass. Yes.
There was very weird shit. Although I did win $170 on that game on a parlay.
Yeah, I saw
thank
that.
you, Carolina Panthers.
I
appreciate that. Good way to start the new year. Now
they backdoored the hell out of their way into their playoffs. That's as backdoory as you could backdoor your way into a playoffs. But I think they deserved it after that bullshit they had to deal with on Saturday.
Oh, I agree. If you'd like to talk about how the Houston Texans fucked me out of $200 on Sunday, we could talk about that. But that was the last second field goal.
That's such a Texans thing to do.
It's a 4-leg parlay, and I had the Colts. I had all money line. I had the Colts going over in the money line. I had Jacksonville. I had Cleveland. I had Atlanta, all on the money line. And then, boom, that last second field goal just F's me. Just F's me, man.
God, man.
Oh. Still, we start off 2026 on a winning note. Some of the other big stories in 2025, obviously the death of Hulk Hogan, right?
Yeah. I was going to say that one. Definitely.
Still dealing with the death of Hulk Hogan for sure. The first Raw on Netflix. Raw officially debuts on Netflix in 2025, so that was a big deal. The WWE library moving off of, and the machinations behold all that and all that stuff, which kind of goes back to all the stuff going over on ESPN. All of that was all a big story in 2025.
Yeah, that took place toward the end of the year, right? Where they moved all the library stuff. Yeah.
And we still really don't know where the library is going to go. Although I'm hearing, I don't know, you're probably hearing the same stuff. It's going to go, a piece of it's going to be here, a piece of it's going to be here, right?
Yeah. Just kind of fits the system, I guess, of everything else, trying to find them find them to watch. So I guess it would work out. I'm feeling pretty good about the WWE Vault thing in 2025. To me, them beefing that up in the WCW Vault, at least there's something that their fans can go to that's absolutely free, that they can enjoy and not have to pay an arm and a leg for or anything at all. So I'm glad that there's like one thing that you can go to and you can watch for free, right? I do hope, that kids, younger people these days, wrestling fans will go back and watch some of that old 80s and 90s NWA and Mid-Atlantic wrestling, man. It's so different. I was watching one from 83 and God, Lord help them. Some of those promos that they did, it's like Paul Jones and Rufus R. Jones and Bugsy McGraw. Oh my gosh, it was cringy. It really was cringy. And I'm thinking back when I was watching this, I think it was an 85, maybe around 85. I was watching this particular one, and I think back in the day when I was watching, I think I was remembered back in the day as a kid thinking it was cringy then. So I mean, if that tells you anything. So it's just, I just had to laugh. But the wrestling part was great. Bob Orton Jr., I'd forgotten all about him being in Mid-Atlantic, to be honest. So, yeah, I always hope the kids go back and watch it.
You see what Brian has done there. He's tried to build you up with some 80s nostalgia when it comes to MTV, and now he's kind of shitting on 80s nostalgia when it comes to good old World Championship Wrestling with your buddy Bob Caudle and Tony Schiavone.
Well, I'm not biased. I call it like I sees it.
Well, that's one of the things that for our generation, is that there are a lot of people in our generation have always kind of like pumped up what happened back in the 80s. And I go, it's not really as great as some people have told you it is. I try to tell the young people that it really, there's parts of it that were pretty good. Pretty good.
Yeah.
I'll give it to you on that one. But there was some stuff back then that was a little not so good. Not so great.
Yeah. Yeah. I think the fact that you were younger and didn't have as many problems to deal with, that's what made it so great. That's basically what it boils down to.
I guess Vince McMahon's ongoing legal issues and that whole Vince kind of lurking in the background was kind of a story in 2025. The late in the year, the Saudi interest in maybe buying Endeavor, that's come onto the radar. The funny thing about that is that what I'm hearing is that Saudi fund is not that liquid. It's got some issues in liquidity right now. So I don't know.
Is that right? Wow. Okay. Well, that's interesting.
You also wonder with this blowjob that Trump is giving to the oil companies in the form of Venezuela, how that's going to affect the price of oil, and if it collapses, and there's a lot of moving parts to that. That Global 2 guy had a really good video, and he said, when it comes to like shitty oil, it has to be refined, some of that thick stuff. Most of the big oil companies made like $500 billion investment in this place called Canada. Mm-hmm. So it's not like they're going to go, hey, let's just go ahead and pick up and go down to Venezuela all of a sudden. That may not be happening.
Yeah, I think I saw the same video you're talking about, and he's talking. I think that might have been the same one, and he said that OPEC it's going to piss them off, and they're really the ones that we need to worry about as far as what happens to our gas prices. So it's just people just don't get it. The dumbasses just think we're going to go down there and load up the tankers, the ship tankers with their oil and bring it back to the U.S. and bring all the gas prices down. That's what they think, and it's just not how it's going to freaking go. And then you can't get it through their heads.
Yeah, 10 cents a gallon. People have been looking at it, and he's one of them, and he's forgotten more about global trade as far as oil goes than I'll ever know. But they've been looking at a possible collapse in oil prices for a while, and they've been trying to drill and really ramp up production of the OPEC nations and stuff like that. During the Biden administration, people will go, yeah, now they're going to tell us that keeping the prices at a certain level, having it high is good. I went, well, yeah, because I can tell you when gas prices were really cheap, let's go all the way back to 2020. Because people weren't buying shit and people weren't going to work. So it was a good thing to have some demand on fucking oil, you idiots. We can get the price of gas pretty cheap here when we have a recession, you dumbasses. These are
just never get it. They will never get it.
These are things that I think about. These are things that
They're valid. They're valid.
And of course, one of the big stories in 2025 was John Cena's last match and the tour that went up with that and all the stuff that happened with John Cena and surrounding that. The WWE making a lot of money on that whole situation.
Yeah. Yeah. They sure did. Sure did.
Raw is War tonight on Netflix. It's a sellout crowd of 14,782.
Flick next.
As Raw is in. I don't know where they are. I'm not sure where they are. Oh, yeah?
No, just
Brooklyn, New York.
About that.
There it is. Good for them. At the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, New York, a sellout crowd of 14,728 on Netflix. We start out with the women's tag team championship match. Asuka and Kairi Sane defending against Rhea Ripley and Io Sky. Are there heels in this match?
I think the Kabuki Warriors are still sort of heels, don't you think?
I guess they are, but they don't have the belts anymore because Rhea Ripley and Io Sky defeated Asuka and Kairi Sane. They win the women's tag team championships. 16 minutes and 27 seconds. There you go.
Yeah. I really like them. I really like them.
As a team, the chemistry and everything.
Yes.
I think they're great together. It's weird. Not really weird, but it's just that Rhea Ripley is such an amazing talent that you can kind of book her down the card. And this is down the card for our purposes because you can bring her up at any time you want to, and she can win. Like if I told you right now Rhea Ripley's going to win the Royal Rumble, you wouldn't be surprised by that, would you?
No, not a bit. Not one bit.
No. She can give you a good match anytime she wants to, and anytime you need it, and she can work at the top of any card. And kind of the same thing is true of Charlotte. They're kind of bubbling her under the surface, not letting her work right at the top, letting some of these other people kind of shine and do stuff right now. But it's it's an art form. That's an art form when you have top talent that can kick ass and take names, and you kind of have to book them at a mid card or somewhat that kind of level for a little while to kind of cool them off.
Yeah.
And that's something that a lot of the old school bookers used to do that stuff, like Jerry Jarrett a lot of times.
Yeah, and it makes sense, man. And Charlotte's a perfect example, I think, of all that, because she was one of those that was really at one point getting shoved down our throats every week, and it was really annoying. And I got to tell you, man, I really got to tell you, I am a fan of this Charlotte. I love this Charlotte. Yeah. I love the little. I don't know. She has the little sarcasm to her, but she's friendly. She's not. I don't know. Something about it. This seems like the real Ashley Fleer to me, and that's why I think I like her. That's why I like this character.
Well, I think teaming her up with Alexis really kind of helped bring out some of that humor and stuff.
And dude, I think I like her better than Alexa. As far as like the tag team is concerned at this point, I still love Alexa, but I'm liking Charlotte a little better than Alexa right now.
I think Charlotte and her dad went to the Rams game this weekend, and the LA Rams will be visiting your NFC South champion, the Carolina Panthers, coming up this weekend.
Go Cats, keep pounding.
It's just weird that you got a team that lost 9 games that's hosting a home playoff.
It's so NFC South, don't you think?
It is. It classically is. It really is. Video package for Punk versus Breaker. That was a really good one. Des Rocks did a thing. It's a song called "This Land." Scrap Iron congratulating the new tag team champions backstage after they left. He was confused upon seeing a Demogorgon. Oh, they did the Stranger Things tie-in tonight. That was the theme of the deal.
I haven't watched it. I've heard a lot about Stranger Things, but I don't really know the ins and outs of it.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan, but I know it's a big deal. It's like the biggest hit they've had on Netflix probably since House of Cards, I would guess.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, you're probably right.
Oh, but they got some real dude. They're bringing. Speaking of the '80s, tonight Netflix had this, and I don't know if they already announced it, but I think it was Anthony Anderson doing the voiceover on a promo. They're bringing Star Search back.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
they
okay.
Had all the old footage from
Why not?
They had all the old footage from the '80s and stuff, and they were like, "Here's Kevin James, here's Britney Spears, here's Justin Timberlake, here's all these people that have been discovered on Star Search." And they're like, "It's coming back," and it's. What was the best band that was ever on Star Search? What was the best band you ever saw on Star Search?
Brown.
Oh, Sidewinder kicked their ass, man. What are you talking about?
Yes, I forgot they were on there, dude. I really did. You got me on that one. Sidewinder, yes.
Sidewinder was 100 times better than Sawyer Brown.
You're right. You're right. You're right. You're right. I totally forgot about them being on there.
Gunther approached Pierce next. Pierce advised Gunther there were a lot of eyes on the show tonight and a lot of eyes on Gunther, including those from the locker room. He advised Gunther to mix in a little respect in his promo tonight, and Gunther chuckled. The next segment had a chapter title card like Stranger Things. It was Chapter 2, He Who Remains. Gunther came out. He's got a new T-shirt, and I think it says "tapped out" and it's blank or something like that. It's got a picture of him making Cena tap out.
Okay, I'm gonna go buy that.
And then AJ Styles comes out to confront him. He slaps Gunther, and then they promote next week in Dusseldorf. I don't know, maybe they did promote it then, but that's what's happening next week in Dusseldorf. AJ Styles against Gunther. Again, 2:00, your special start time. I wonder tonight if there was any kind of a bump in viewership because there was no football.
Could be. You might be right.
I don't know.
Didn't think about that.
I think NBC went with their NBA package on Monday night on NBC and on Peacock. Video package for the women's IC title match. Ivy Nile told Pierce she didn't plan on going back to the back of the line and wanted to win to take on the winner of tonight's IC title match. Pierce wasn't in the mood and told her, "We'll see." Ivy Nile reiterated that she would not go to the back of the line. Gunther confronted Pierce and wanted Styles. Styles jumped in and told Gunther they could fight right now and asked if he would just stand there like a bitch. Gunther ignored Styles and demanded a match for next week. Pierce made it so. Styles was glad. Women's Intercontinental Championship, Maxine Dupree versus Becky Lynch. I think we figured it out now. Becky Lynch is doing Trump.
You still think that's the case? You still think that's the case after tonight? I really didn't see the whole match.
Everything that she does the best. She's still like the promos and stuff. Every time she's the agreed one. She never does anything wrong. Everybody else always fucks everything else up. I think she's doing Trump.
Pretty funny if she is. Pretty slick.
So she was holding on to the ankle. Maxine was holding on to Becky Lynch's ankle. Pronouns, pal. And then Becky kind of arched her back backwards and then grabbed onto the ropes, and then it was a pinfall. The referee was, again, from the Carolina Panthers game, did not see the grabbing of the ropes, and that's where Corey Graves just became a heel announcer and went along with the program. And it was a 1-2-3, your new champion, Becky Lynch. I'm a little surprised they took the belt off of Maxine Dupree this quickly. Are you?
Yeah, me too. They built it up so much for her heading into that match that she won the belt that I thought that, God, man. And then it's kind of weird if you think about it. She didn't lose it to Becky on the return match, like the immediate return match. She actually defended it against Ivy Nile and won, and then took on Becky and lost. So that part to me kind of makes it sound a little wonky, just the way that she just defended it one time. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what their thinking is on this.
Well, maybe Maxine's going on her honeymoon.
Yeah, you might be right. That could be something to do with that. Yeah.
Maxine Dupree just got married to Cam Hendricks on New Year's Eve. So maybe that's the deal. Maybe she's going on a honeymoon.
You might be right. There might be something to that.
Javon Evans signing with Monday Night Raw. There you go. Pierce
I saw
a video.
I saw Cozone on Facebook reposted something about that. The headline of that. I saw that right before we started recording.
Cozone, of course, being the trainer of Javon Evans.
Yes, that's him, the man.
Javon Evans from Greensboro / Jamestown, North Carolina. So there you go. The writer on Figure 4 Weekly says that's good. Doing this on stage made Evans feel special. The bad, it happened during a commercial break. Well, that's too bad. This is what I wanted to talk to you about. Is they ran a promo for season 2 of WWE Unreal, January the 20th on Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
And Naomi's on there, and she said something like it was that and a lot of other stuff that built up that caused us to walk right out. So I don't know. I don't know if we're gonna get the story about when Trinity and Mercedes left WWE that time.
It sounds like we'll get some part of it, if not the supposed whole story. That's interesting.
I don't know. I'm trying to remember how I felt about last season. I think I was kind of a C+ on that whole thing.
Honestly, man, I didn't watch any of it because I just thought it would be watered down bullshit that's trying to be dark side of the ring, but it's not because it's too controlled.
You bring up an interesting point in that, because when they see somebody making money on something like Dark Side, they immediately try to go to it, do their version of it, and make it worse, a la the cadre of podcasts that they have when they totally fucked up the Undertaker's podcast and the rest of their podcasts, which are pretty much milquetoast. So you bring up a salient point, I believe.
I just always have, and just like the A&E stuff that's on, or it was on, or still is on, with when it would have the biography on the Super. I just didn't watch it. I watched maybe one or two, but it was really the ones I like maybe Iron Sheik or somebody I wanted to see. I don't know, but I just thought they would be, like, again, watered down. They'd be people, the people have control over it, that they don't want you to say this, don't want you to say that. And it's just, I just didn't think it would be anything I'd be interested in, to be honest.
As we speak now, it has gone from January 5th to January the 6th. It is the 5th anniversary of the attacks on the Capitol. And I wonder if January 6th commemorations have been outlawed by the current administration.
I'm wondering how long it's going to be before all that shit's just erased, videos and that sort of thing.
I haven't heard.
I saw very I don't know what's the word. You fill in the blank. Disturbing still video of, it was like a compilation video that Mediaite might have somebody put it up on TikTok. It's like a 2-minute, encapsulation of pretty much what happened. A lot of stuff you'd seen before, some of it I hadn't seen before, some of the clips and stuff. And it's just like, you look at this and go, how did it not just stop right there? How did it not just, everything just stop right? I don't get it, man. And I'll never, I'll go to my grave never knowing how this got to where it is.
And a lot of those people have been pardoned.
But that guy in Venezuela, those drugs, damn drugs in Venezuela.
Yeah. Oh man, we got to get that. We got to go bomb that. Jesus.
Fuck.
Hey, some of those people that were pardoned, they went out and they committed other crimes.
You're kidding.
Isn't that wild? Somebody would be such a criminal to attack the United States Capitol in such a brazen way and try to murder, I don't know, representatives of the United States. Once they get pardoned, they might just have a proclivity to go out and do other crimes, other violent crimes.
I just can't imagine. It's not like they went to the Capitol and shit in their hands and smeared it on. Oh no, yeah, they did do that.
It's just like that. It's exactly like that. What you just said, it was not. It was.
Okay, yeah, you're right. Okay, never mind.
Yeah, it's not like they were hunting Nancy Pelosi down like a dog to they were. Oh, they were trying to. Oh, I see. Yes. I see
Yeah.
what you're saying.
Okay. Well, never mind on that. It's not like they brought nooses to hang people
Yeah.
with, especially my. Well, you know what? I think they did.
But the guy that killed Ashley Babbitt, have they brought him up on charges, trying to get him just hanged on in the public square? That's what they'll do. Dipshit is building that big arc to Trump in DC.
Yeah.
And like just to unveil it, they'll get the officer that killed Ashley Babbitt, hang that guy in front of everybody. That's what they'll do. I've said it on social media, and I'll say it here.
That would just be perfect. Yeah.
I've said it before, and I'll say it on social media. Whoever is holding Maduro, make sure that those cameras are on at all times in that cell. Just please have an uninterrupted power supply, backups to the backups. It's never been more important.
Yes. Camera out of reach, of everybody, and just just everything. It better be perfect.
I'm terribly afraid he's going to accidentally hang himself or stab himself about 20 times or fall on a knife about 50 times. I'm just afraid of that.
You know what, man? If I'm not mistaken, I believe that's the same holding facility.
Oh no.
I'm not sure, but I think it is.
It's never been more important to have an uninterrupted power supply to anything.
Oh, God.
The Usos came out and just cut a promo, but the big news here, the Usos have some new merch, and that shit is dope. Go look at it at WWE Shop right now.
Dope as hell.
They got it's awesome. That shit is badass, dude. 2026, baby. They said it was going to be the year of the Usos.
Do you think it is? Do you really think it is going to be the year of the Usos, or do you think this is all a farce and somebody's going to turn on somebody again?
Here's hoping 365 days you and I are talking about the Usos still being a tag team.
Yeah, okay. All right.
Here's what I'm hoping. January 6th, 2027, you and I are like, God, it's so good to have Jimmy and Jay still together, kicking ass and having tremendous matches.
No, this is what it'll be like in January 2027. It'll be like, God dang, I still can't believe people are letting go of this January 16th from the Capitol. People out there smearing shit on the walls. But how about those Usos, man? They're still the champs.
still together. It's crazy. This will be the conversation we'll be having in 365 days. Oh, and Stephanie Beck here still has a tremendous ass. What?
God,
what?
Moses.
What? Yes, Stephanie Becker came out. She wasn't over with me.
She sure did. She sure did come on out, didn't she?
Well, I mean, I feel you and I've talked about this before. I feel a little creepy talking about it, but when your finisher is that, I mean, come on.
And honestly, man, don't you think that her and Rhea, just off the top of my head, they show total ass. They showed every match. They show total ass cheeks. It's like a thong. They're basically wearing thongs.
Name me a female wrestler whose ass doesn't eat like most of her gear. I mean, it's really hard to name. It's like very few. Nia Jax. That's about it, right?
That's about it. Maybe Raquel.
Maybe. Raquel comes out and beats up Stephanie Becker, and she's working like crazy on that boot. She's killing it. It's pretty good.
Yeah, I heard that she might get a big push this year.
Elle Duncan, formerly of ESPN and now with Netflix, was ringside. How about that?
Who was that?
Elle Duncan, the former Sports Center anchor who recently left ESPN, and she's going to be doing a lot more sports and stuff with Netflix.
Okay.
You got to wonder about that. You got to wonder, since ESPN and Netflix are both, they're both lovers of WWE, and there's a love triangle there, and then somebody's stealing talent away from somebody else. You got to wonder how that's kind of work out, right?
Yeah, a little slope is a little slippery there.
Lyra Valkyria with Bailey versus Liv Morgan, looking like a snack, as the kids say, with Roxanne Perez. And Livy defeats Lyra Valkyria 856. CM Punk interview, very good. Redmond interviewed CM Punk backstage. Punk said everyone had an opinion. They would rather talk about him because if he talked about themselves, nobody would pay attention. Breaker could claim spear 1, 2, 3 if he wanted, but Punk was the underdog. You were underestimating him, and that meant a GTS and a nap. And if it could happen to anybody tonight, but it was Braun. This feud, I think, has helped out Braun Breaker in stepping up his promo skills. You agree with that?
Oh God, yeah, yeah. Not that they were that bad before, but it is fine tuned for definite sure. Yes,
he's sharpened. I think he's done a good job with that. Byron Sachs interviewing Logan Paul like anybody gives a shit, and Logan and Austin Theory. It doesn't matter what they said. Logan got a ton of heat, while the monotonous Theory got none. The only thing announced for Raw is Germany next week, 2:00. World Championship matchup.
Go back. What did it say again? Say about the. Say that again about what they said about Theory and Logan Paul.
Byron Sachs interviewed Logan Paul and Austin Theory during a break. It really doesn't matter what they said. Logan got a ton of heat, while the monotonous Theory got none.
Okay. Let me say something about that. Did you happen to see Brian Alvarez talking about Austin Theory? I think it was last week.
I don't think I know the video that you're particularly referencing.
He was basically saying what I was thinking, and I'm like, wow, I'm glad I'm not the only one that thought this. That the whole Austin Theory thing is kind of laying an egg right now. He's not getting anything that they had. Any heat they wanted to generate from that masked man coming in and interfering and all that shit with it's gone. Yeah, I don't know. And to be honest, I don't really know why, because Austin Theory is really a very hateable wrestler just because of his looks and everything and whatnot. But I'm not sure. I think what happened, man, and tell me if you agree with this or not. I think they may have dropped the ball with him when McMahon was still there, and they tried to shove him down our throats when he really wasn't ready yet. And I think that it just kind of left a bad taste in a lot of people's mouths. And even though he went away and came back, and he went away for a pretty good while, it seemed like it. He went away for a pretty good while and then came back. I thought they could kind of repackage him, and he could come out and be what they really kind of thought that they pictured him to be, maybe, even though that he was a Vince McMahon product, But I just don't think that that's carried over at all. I think between the shoving down our throats and other things that have happened since he went away and since he's come back, I think that there was no connection there with him, with the with what, does that make sense with the audience? I just don't think that the hateability was there for him anymore.
Part of this is not his fault, because I think he got caught in sort of the undercurrent of the transition from Vince McMahon to TKO, and then all of the corporate intrigue with Vince coming back, and Vince, I think he got kind of lost in the sauce and all that, maybe a little bit.
I think
I'll tell you what,
I think you're right.
I think a year and a half, 2 years ago, that guy looked like the can't miss kid to me.
Yeah. And gotta tell you, man, I'm just gonna say it. I do think McMahon, and there's nothing wrong with it. I'm not trying to downplay. I'm not trying to make fun of, but I'm just saying I'm convinced he was at least bisexual. I really do. I really think
I was going to ask you that. I was going to ask you about at least. Yeah, I would say that's probably right. And as long as it's consensual, again, I don't have a problem with it.
Right. That's a big thing. I totally 100, man. But I just, these guys that he's wanting to groom that are his guys, quotation marks, Shawn Michaels.
Yeah.
Come on, man. Just
come over here. Give me those cheeks. Yeah. Love it.
You like that hairy chest of Shawn Michaels there, Mr. McMahon?
Yeah, shave it. I like it. Shave your ass. Yeah. The ass break kid. The ass break kid. God, Michael. You are my sexy boy. You are my boy toy. Ha ha ha. There's anybody that you've ever heard in your life that was overcompensating with like overt masculinity almost always they were gay or they had some gay underpinnings.
Yeah.
Without fail, really.
See, exactly. It's just all of that. It just all adds up, man. Everything about it just adds up, and it's just it's just funny to me.
Well, I'm not going to be on bottom though. I get to be the perpetrator and the penetrator. Yeah. It's my new gimmick. The penetrator.
Well, Mr. McMahon, you can't shit on somebody when you're laying down.
God damn it. That's perplexing. Can I order something off Temu that would fix that? God damn it. Here I am, the penetrator. God damn it.
It all makes sense now.
Oh God!
It all makes a lot of sense, actually, when you think about it.
Perfect sense. I'm telling you.
Like I don't think Vince would have been one of those guys again. I don't think he's one of those guys at the rest stop on I-40 tapping his feet 3 times and stall number 6. I think he's a little more. I don't know. I want to say classy, but I think he's got better.
Classy, yeah. I guess.
Yeah.
I'm going to take a big classy shit on you. Watch this. This is great. Yeah.
Look how round that one is. Like, oh my God.
Now they're gonna. This is a shit that was a $500 T-bone. Watch this. This is great. Yeah.
Sir, I'd be honored to receive that. Who wouldn't, really?
Well, see, people he wouldn't like. He didn't really care for. He just shit on them like after he had like a Cobb salad or something,
That's exactly right.
Get in here, Bruce. I just had a Cobb salad. Gee, boss, are you ready to shit on me? No, I had a $500 steak over at Ruth's Chris tonight. Get in here, Sean. You don't understand. This is fecal gold. Fecal gold!
High dollar shits.
This is going to be the most expensive shit I've ever taken. I just had a tremendous Wagyu beef sirloin, and I'm going to lay you in the back of a Ferrari, Sean, and I'm going to shit on you. Everything about it just reeks of class.
I believe you had a glass of wine with that too, didn't you, Mr. McMahon?
I'm going to spray some very expensive champagne on you after I'm done. That's my finisher.
Oh.
Little Dom Perignon for you. Dom Perignon! And that'll be our little secret there. I'll just say Dom Perignon, and both of you and I will start laughing.
This feels like a throwback to the really the old Katie Vick is alive.
Yes, it does.
That's what this feels like. It does.
Yes, my mouth is hurting when we're done because I'm so.
In 2026, we're back to the shit that you loved about this show.
That's right. Taking it back to the OG, man.
Taking it to the streets. Taking it back to the old school because I'm an old fool who's so cool. World Heavyweight Championship, CM Punk versus Braun Breaker. You were convinced that this was going to be Bronny's coming out party, but no.
Yeah.
Despite a lot of interference and Punk getting his hands on Paul Heyman, it was to go to sleep in the 1, 2, 3, and CM Punk retains the World Championship, 26-34. Really, it was a good match.
It was a great match. I love the almost pins and the interference stuff, and then finally the luchadors basically came in to make the save. It was all of it. I liked all of it. It was great. I was surprised. I thought that 2026 they were going to hook it up with Breaker and ride the train, but I guess they didn't think it was the right time.
There was some good stuff also in that Raw with Penta and Rey Mysterio and stuff. So it was a pretty entertaining show. Pretty good way to kick off the new year.
Yeah, Penta. I love Penta, man. I'm so glad he's back.
Any other closing thoughts on another clearly award-winning episode of Katie Vick is Alive?
Clearly. No real closing thoughts. Just glad you're back. Glad you're the Wi-Fi held and we're good now. And I'm
technically
laughing.
we should be sound until the next time that we, I don't know, bomb a small nation.
Well, that could be. We could be doing this tomorrow. Then
could be. It really could be. Bryant is on social media for your dining and dancing pleasure. It's Dad of Stanley on Instagram and also on Threads. Stanley Jackson 23 on the TikTok, and they're the twos on Blue Sky. THEYRE. I am at Britt Whitmire on the Blue Sky, BRITTWHITMIRE, and at Real Britt Whitmire on Instagram and Threads. I thought that Threads thing had kind of died, but it actually picked up for me in the past couple of days. I got some pretty decent engagement on that thing.
Is that right? Okay, cool.
Yeah, I don't know. Who knows? You never know. Until next time, fans, we'll see you ringside. Stop recording.